have no authority.
You're not gonna fucking tell me what to do,
Our first case began when a Lexington officer pulled over Sheriff Amison for speeding. The sheriff was driving 85 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone in an unmarked car without lights or sirens activated.
045, Nora George Mary, 045. It's gonna be Center and 77.
Hello.
Sheriff Amison, I'm going to SWAT call out.
Okay, so this Polio, could you do an 85 and a 55?
I was going.
Going where?
Call out.
Where we going?
SWAT call out right over here.
I didn't know we had one.
We have an armed guy barricaded in the house. Just be a police officer and then.
Where at?
Right down here on.
Here in Lexington?
Yeah.
We have an armed person we don't know about. All right, I'll call our chief and let him know.
When stopped, Amison explained he was on his way to a SWAT call involving a barricaded armed suspect. The Lexington officer, unaware of the standoff, was shocked to hear about such a critical situation occurring in their own jurisdiction without prior notification. After this brief roadside interaction, the officer contacted Chief Ronnie Johnson to inform him about the situation. Chief Johnson rushed to the scene, visibly frustrated by the lack of prior notice. When he arrived, he confronted a Cleveland County deputy, questioning why Lexington PD wasn't informed. The deputy replied that Lexington had been notified, but refused to respond, which Johnson vehemently denied. The situation escalated further when other deputies chimed in, claiming that their records showed Lexington declined to assist. Johnson dismissed these claims angrily, stating that he had been at the police department all day and received no such notification. At the SWAT incident scene, the confrontation between Ronnie Johnson and the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office escalated quickly. Chief Johnson arrived visibly angry and demanded answers from deputies about why he hadn't been informed of a critical situation happening in his own city. The scene became more chaotic as other officers joined the argument. One Lexington officer clashed verbally with a Cleveland County deputy, defending his chief and criticizing the deputy's dismissive tone. The argument intensified as the sheriff himself arrived. Tensions boiled over when a Cleveland County deputy pointed at the Lexington officer and yelled profanities, escalating the confrontation further.
You're not gonna talk about chief like that, sir. That's not gonna happen.
You can get the fuck out of my face. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay? This is my county, too.
Back up, man. Back up. No, you don't.
He just said, what the fuck's going on?
This is going to be good.
According to the call,
You need to stop.
Lexington PD was notified.
Chill out. Back up. Everything's gonna be okay. But you need to back up.
I get it that you're
You can
riled up, dude.
Negative.
But this right here ain't what
We're not going to be disrespectful here.
Okay?
Sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir.
You have no authority.
You're not gonna fucking tell me what to do, motherfucker. You're not gonna get in my sheriff's face.
You want to do that?
In an attempt to calm things down, Sheriff Amison intervened and pulled the deputy back. But this intervention didn't prevent the heated exchange between the sheriff and Chief Johnson. During their conversation, Sheriff Amison made it clear that this operation was under his jurisdiction and demanded understanding of the chain of command. Chief Johnson responded sarcastically, but ultimately walked away with his officer. The video ended with visible frustration on both sides. The sheriff's office later released a statement accusing the Lexington officer of erratic behavior at the scene and even assaulting a CCSO lieutenant, a claim Lexington PD has yet to address publicly. Under Sheriff Mike Finley brought up previous issues between the departments, including an ongoing investigation into alleged animal abuse by Lexington PD.
I can't. I had multiple phone calls. You'd be in the same situation if I was in the vehicle in your county, correct?
On November 13th, 2016, Lieutenant Brian Filipiak, an off-duty lieutenant from the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office, found himself in a troubling situation when he was pulled over in Montmorency County, Michigan. The incident began when Deputy Zachary Morrison of the Montmorency County Sheriff's Office spotted Filipiak's pickup truck swerving dangerously on the road. The truck crossed the fog line into the shoulder, veered back over the center line, and appeared out of control. Concerned for public safety, Deputy Morrison initiated a traffic stop. Filipiak pulled over just as a Michigan Department of Natural Resources officer arrived to assist.
Crash proof. Okay. You got your ID, department ID, and your driver's license. The reason why I'm stopping you is we got multiple reckless driving calls about you. Okay. And then when I'm following you, you're hitting the shoulder of the road. You been drinking? How many? Okay. Where are you reaching in the back for? I seen you reaching in the back. You have an open container back there? Okay. You been drinking on the way here?
Body cam footage later revealed that Deputy Morrison approached the vehicle, asking Filipiak for his license, registration, and proof of insurance. Filipiak admitted to having consumed alcohol. His erratic driving had prompted multiple 911 calls from concerned citizens, making the situation even more serious.
Where that's at? Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you to step out of the vehicle. What would you like me to do?
Just let me go.
I can't. I had multiple phone calls. You'd be in the same situation if I was in the vehicle in your county, correct?
I don't know.
I've got multiple 911 calls about a reckless driver, plate and all matches, almost hitting vehicles. I get behind you. You hit the shoulder of the road twice.
All right, just let me stay here. Okay?
You can't. I'm going to ask you nicely to step out of this vehicle. Brian, my hands are tied. If I let you go, I'm going to lose my career over you. You don't think I wouldn't?
No.
This is northern Michigan. Works.
I know.
Okay? So I'm asking you nicely.
I know you won't, but just let me go.
I'm not. I can't let you go. We're way past that point. You know this.
No,
You're a lieutenant. You know how this works.
yeah, I do.
You would tell one of your deputies if they called you right on the side of the road
No,
and they
I'll
asked
let
you what to
know
do.
if I could go.
So, if one of your deputies is in the position as I am right now, calling you as a lieutenant, Lieutenant, this is what I got. What should I do? You're just going to say let him go?
Despite numerous requests, Filipiak refused to step out of his truck, placing Deputy Morrison in a difficult position. Morrison, speaking firmly but politely, emphasized that his duty required him to take action. He explained that allowing Filipiak to drive away could result in severe consequences for both public safety and his own career. Filipiak's reluctance seemed rooted in denial of the seriousness of his actions. He argued that he should be allowed to sleep it off, but Morrison stood his ground, stating that this was not an option.
Arrest a fellow cop?
Yes, I think you do.
Why?
I don't know. Just
I
let me
know
go
this
over.
career. I know what you go through every day.
No, just let me go over.
Why do you think I want to arrest a cop? We're not above the law.
I don't know. 'Cause
Okay.
I've had. You want to talk? We could talk forever,
Yes, we can.
but so. Just
And
let
we're
me-
at the point, Brian, you have to step out of this vehicle now. If I have to yank you out with this
No,
DNR
just
officer,
let me-
you are going to go to jail for R&O,
No, I'm not.
along with other charges.
So just let me.
I can't do that. You know that.
Yes, you.
Filipiak continued to resist. Deputy Morrison was left with no choice but to escalate the situation. Alongside the assisting DNR officer, Morrison attempted to physically remove Filipiak from the truck. Filipiak resisted their efforts, forcing Morrison to warn him that he would use a taser if necessary. This marked a critical turning point in the encounter. Filipiak's resistance was not only delaying the inevitable, but also increasing the danger for everyone involved. The struggle to remove Filipiak was both physical and emotional. Filipiak Filipiak pleaded with Morrison to let him go, insisting that he did not want to ruin his career. Morrison reminded him that no one was above the law, not even a lieutenant.
Vehicle.
No, just let me sleep it off.
Brian, we're done with this. You're the one getting out of this vehicle. Whether it's you stepping out, manning up to it, being a man about it, or two, we're dragging you out, and you are getting in handcuffs. Which one do you want? I'm asking you nicely to please step out of this vehicle with me. If you don't want to do sobriety tests, that's fine. Step out of this vehicle.
I will be here.
The body cam footage captured Filipiak's repeated refusals to cooperate, as well as Morrison's mounting frustration. Morrison warned him multiple times, emphasizing that his actions were being recorded and that further resistance would lead to additional charges.
Do you think we want to do this? No.
Then let me just pull off.
Our hands are tied.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Out of this vehicle.
Oh my gosh. No.
Out.
No.
We just have to. Out.
Brian, go.
No. Hold on, guys.
Brian.
One more time.
Step out of the vehicle.
No,
Brian.
one more time.
Step out
We're
of the
going to
vehicle.
get a fucking taser.
After several warnings and repeated attempts to gain compliance, Deputy Morrison finally placed Filipiak under arrest. The arrest was not smooth, as Filipiak continued to resist, both physically and verbally. Morrison, determined to uphold his duty, reminded Filipiak of the consequences of his actions. Despite Filipiak's pleas for a cop-to-cop deal, Morrison made it clear that leniency was not an option. The law had to be enforced, regardless of Filipiak's position or profession. As this continued, Filipiak's resistance became even more apparent. Both officers struggled to get him into the back seat of the police cruiser. Filipiak resisted being handcuffed, tensed his body, and even refused to sit in the vehicle. Morrison and the DNR officer worked together to ensure that Filipiak was secured, despite his repeated attempts to delay the process.
Don't make it even worse.
No, I'm not. Let's talk about it. Let's just...
No. Stop. I don't want to put you on the ground.
No,
I don't want to make this worse.
All right, I will just sleep it off.
You're, dude, stop it right now. You know.
Stop tensing up, man.
Stop it. You are.
Once Filipiak was placed in the back of the police cruiser, the ordeal seemed far from over. Filipiak continued to argue, insisting that he should be allowed to sleep it off rather than face arrest. Morrison, however, remained resolute, explaining that Filipiak's actions had left him no choice. The incident reached its emotional peak as Filipiak, still intoxicated, attempted to negotiate with Morrison. Brian Filipiak faced sentencing on March 3rd for drunken driving. For this incident, Filipiak was sentenced to 1 year of probation, accompanied by a deferred jail sentence after pleading guilty to operating while intoxicated. Initially, Filipiak had been charged with the more severe misdemeanor of operating while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of 0.17 or higher, a threshold that qualifies as super drunk under Michigan law. But in January, Filipiak reached a plea agreement, reducing the charge to a lesser offense. So what do you think about this? Comment down your thoughts right now. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well.